Mind you, at this time, I'm baking with a convenient oven. You know these ovens that are like literally at this size? Wow. Okay, what do I do every day? Cooking, and they enjoyed doing it. And I was just like, okay. I almost just dropped the laptop. Hi guys, and welcome to another epic episode of my YouTube channel. My name is Neliswa and this is Mrs. M Daily. Thank you for tuning in to another banger of a video. In today's video, I will be answering some questions and maybe attending to some compliments that some of you guys had sent to me via my Instagram social media account, on Facebook, and on WhatsApp. Okay, some of you guys also commented on the last video that I did on the comment section, so I'll be answering all of those questions today. I hope I'll be answering all of them because you guys really came through. Thank you so much. You asked so many questions and they were so detailed. In front of me, I have my laptop over here, so I'll be looking at some questions from here. Don't mind me looking aside from time to time. I will be reading the questions and I hope I'll be answering them as holistically as possible. So let's get right into it. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, maybe the basic questions to actually answer would be like, yeah, I was born and bred in Eswatini. My birthday is in July. I think, I'm not sure how old I am this year, 27 or 28, somewhere there. I always get it wrong, so I normally say I'm 20 something, but I know I won't be saying that for too long. Hey, just watch your YouTube channel. It's really nice, fresh and clean. My question is, I want to start a business and I need for it to strive. Nje. How did you start yours? Like, what made you decide that this is it, I'm doing it? Where do you get? Okay, that's another question. Okay, how did I start my business? Wow. I think my business started as a joke or as a hobby. I don't know how you want to put it, but I was really experimenting with baking. And the first cake that I baked, in fact it wasn't a cake, it was cupcakes that I baked. I was using a premix that I found in the cupboard. And that time I was living with my in-laws, so my mother-in-law used to bake a lot along those days and stuff. So I actually found one premix in the cupboard. So I thought maybe let me try mixing up something. Okay, she likes baking and she's almost always like baking, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I thought maybe I should bake as well. And then I started making that set of cupcakes, and it came out pretty good. I also enjoyed it and my husband also enjoyed it, so I kind of felt like, okay, maybe this came out well. Angiphinde ngizame ngende something else, you know. And then I did it again and again, and then I started being interested, you know, in the whole process, and I started like looking for recipes online of how to bake a cake from scratch and all of those things. And then I just got right into it. And of course the first few cakes that I baked were not the best of cakes, but I think it all then came together, and I know that I had like a good support system. My in-laws were always my guinea pigs because every time I baked something I'd have to cut a slice for them, and you know, they were my first line of attack, if you can put it that way. And they would give me an honest opinion on most times, I think. And also my sisters, they were there from the onset, you know, giving me the constructive criticism that I needed. And yeah, so, and then with time, you know, I started posting the pictures of the cakes that I baked, you know. And people started commenting, oh, this is nice, blah blah blah. And then people started ordering, like they asked if they could order At first I was like, no, I'm actually just doing this for fun, I'm doing this for my family, blah blah blah, so I can't bake for you and whatnot. But you know how people can be like, you know, persistent when they want something. I eventually started baking a couple of cakes, you know, for people here and there, and then eventually it started blowing up into a business, you know, before I even knew it. Mind you, at this time I'm baking with a convenient oven. You know, these ovens that are like literally at this size. So I was baking with that, and I had absolutely no pan or any baking equipment when I started. I was literally using my mother-in-law's pan, like one pan that she used to like using. It was a 25 centimeter circle pan. So I was also using that one. So it was the only size that I was baking with at first. So every time someone would order a cake, I'd have to use that pan. If it's a 3-layered cake, I'd have to put in the dough, put it in the oven, wait for like 30-40 minutes for it to be ready, let it out, let it chill a bit, and then transfer the ready cake before I can actually do the second layer. It was such a process, and I think I was okay with it, you know, for some time, until it actually got so hectic. Like when you have to do like 2 cakes, it was just too much pressure and too much time I was wasting. You know, I just, you know, anyways. But that's how basically the business started. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, this question was, okay, my question is, do you do all the baking and all it comes with alone? If yes, how are you always able to keep up with deadlines or delivery dates? If I were to bake and do everything alone, I would probably be in a psychiatric. How do you say that, babe? Psychiatric center. Psychiatric. Anyways, ngabe ngisedinhlanyeni basically at this point. At first, yes, I was doing everything alone. I was baking, clearing, buying the stuff, taking orders, doing the marketing for the business and everything, and it was just so much work. But I think I really enjoyed it because it allowed me to be very involved in my business, you know, while still growing it. And obviously I'm still growing the business even now, because I don't think I have reached even halfway to where I really want it to be, or where I see it going. But yeah, in the beginning I was doing everything alone, but now I do not do everything alone, because the business now demands so much more, and I think that my client base has tremendously increased. It is so amazing, and I'm so thankful and so grateful to my clients for the support, and you know, the great feedback I normally get, and the constructive criticism that I do get from some of my clients, which is so good and so encouraging, and it makes me become the best image of myself. So now I have 2 full-time assistants that actually assist me, so I'm able to actually take big orders, or like a number of orders from different people, and I'm able to meet deadlines that way. So the team makes the dream work. So I don't do everything alone anymore. So also one more thing, I think you also asked, how are you always able to keep up with deadlines and delivery dates? Hey, let me tell you something. If you do not schedule everything or note things down in your calendar, you will not make it. I know so many people actually use diaries to jot down orders and stuff. I don't do that anymore. I used to do it, and I either used to forget the diary when I'm on my way to work, or just forget the page I last wrote in. So I actually started using my phone, my calendar in my phone, to actually schedule every order that I have. So that way I'm able to actually track as to how many orders I have on a specific date, and how many orders, excuse me, I just had Coca-Cola. Excuse me for that. So I normally jot everything down in my calendar, and it helps me to keep track of my orders, deadlines, and stuff like that. Next question, where do you get your inspiration? Where do you get your inspiration for the type of desserts and treats that you make? Also, have you always enjoyed baking, or you just started doing it and realized that you have a passion for it? Maybe let me start with the second part of the question. Have I always enjoyed baking? No, I hated everything that had to do with the kitchen while growing up. If my sisters were here, they would testify. Actually, my sisters, please do comment in the comment section below so these guys can actually believe what I'm saying. I never liked anything to do with the kitchen, baking, cooking, whatever. I would do everything else gladly. Well, not gladly, I would always run away, but you know, like, I never liked anything to do with baking. My mother used to bake, and in as much as I don't have much memory of that experience, because she then passed on at a very early stage of my life, may her soul rest in peace. So anyways, she used to bake a lot, and I keep hearing the stories about the cakes she used to bake and stuff like that. So my sister Zandi, the eldest, she also developed love for baking, and all of my sisters followed suit. Well, okay, no, except for Zetu, I am lying. Zetu was a tomboy. She never used to like doing anything in the house. She used to ride a bicycle every day, and she just lived her own life in her own bubble. So anyways, my sisters loved baking and cooking, and they enjoyed doing it. And I was just like, okay. The only time they would call me would be when I have to lick the bowl. That was my favorite thing to do. Busy in the kitchen, or actually offering any kind of help in the kitchen, ever. So now, when did I start liking it? It was after I got married. And I say this proudly, because I think it's one of the blessings of marriage that I got, you know, that I received as a gift from God. It's just the fruits of marriage. I really am grateful for that, and I always acknowledge that. Okay, which is why even the business is called Mrs. M, you know, Decadent Pleasures, blah, blah. Okay, it's a long story. Maybe someone asked the question. So yeah, maybe I'll get to that a bit later. But yeah, I never liked baking or cooking. I only started, what can I say? I only started enjoying doing it and wanting to actually experiment with it after I got married. So yeah, and it was not pressure, really. My husband was never the kind of guy to actually say, I want you to bake, I want you to cook and stuff like that. So I think it just came from within. And really, he was so encouraging when I started, because he would give me the right, criticism that I needed. Whenever I baked something or I cooked something and it didn't come out nice, oh my God, he always had the nicest thing to say. Like, he wouldn't be like, okay, this is trash or blah blah blah, but he would, you know, correct me in a very nice way, to like say, maybe try to keep this a bit longer in the oven, or maybe try to reduce the salt or the sugar content, or you know what I'm saying. Anyway, the next question. Okay, part 2 of that question was, where do you get your inspiration for the type of desserts and treats that you make? You know, most of the things, actually, yes, I do get from the internet, and I am I think more than anything, I am inspired by a diverse number or diverse pool of dessert connoisseurs from all around the world. I think the people that I follow on a daily and I really look up to, they're from Russia, some are in Paris, some are in Japan, some are in the United States. You know, I look up to so many people that are in different parts of the world, and they're always giving a different flavor. So I always like looking at everything, you know, holistically, and then trying to narrow it down and make it and try to make sense of it, even in our local market. So every time I see something that I like, it could be a baked product or a cake or a sweet or whatever it is that I see. I first see it, sometimes I will download it, or try to think about it, and I just visualize how I could do it, like even way before looking at recipes and stuff like that. I try to envision it, and once I get it, I feel like, okay, now it's time to actually start practicing it. I get the stuff that I need, probably to actually make that cake or do that kind of a treat that I need to do. But mostly it's more about research. I'm always researching on how I can improve the products that I make currently, or how I can bring back other products that maybe I used to make before when I started, try to make them make sense now, because I've done some products before, and then I discontinued them for so many reasons, but now I'm trying to find ways to either reinvent them and bring them back, packaged differently. Question is, hey, I think the past questions I've been looking at are from, two people. Okay, yeah. The next question is, okay. What is something you've always wanted to try but still haven't? Okay, I'm not sure, hey? Oh, I think in business or personally. Okay, maybe I should answer this question like both in two parts. Personally, something I've always wanted to try is bungee jumping. But my husband will not let me, not let me at the moment. I know I have a lot to do to also encourage him and, swerve his mindset to doing it. But that's one thing, like the ultimate thing in my bucket list. I have to do it. I have to try it. I know it's the scariest thing ever, but I do wish I could just try it. I did a slingshot at an amusement park when we went to Cape Town a while back. So when I did that, my heart almost stopped. I literally felt like I was dying, but the adrenaline rush was just out of this world. So I still crave that feeling, at least just one more time. It's one of those things I want to do. And also I would love to try quad biking in the sand dunes. I think it's in Namibia. My sister has been there and she says it's just an experience like no other. So I want to do those things and a couple of other things we'll talk about maybe some other time. But okay, business wise, I think there's quite a lot of things actually that I have to do. The things I'm doing right now are not even a quarter of what I actually want to do and want to achieve in business. Like there's so many desserts. So like that's why I'm always disappointed when I see other local bakers trying to imitate exactly the same thing and presentation of exactly what I'm doing, because I feel like this industry is so diverse. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of learning we need to do, a lot of products that need to be explored. So guys, let's do better. Let's do better. Okay, almost just dropped the laptop. Okay, another question. How do your pictures stay looking amazing? Educate us. Okay, thank you so much for this. Your pictures, it's all about lighting, you guys, and a clean lens. I think once you get those two things right, you're on the right track to actually taking good pictures. And I think just personally, I do love taking pictures besides selfies and stuff, like pictures of everything, whether it's land, anything that is beautiful that I like, I love to take pictures of, and I think maybe in another life, if there is something like that, I will be a photographer. For me, taking pictures is also part of the business or what I do for a living. So I really enjoy taking pictures because I like documenting my work first and foremost. So taking pictures of myself is like a nice thing to do when I have time. But for my business, it has become one of the top priority things. I mostly take pictures with my phone, and I'm using an iPhone 10. Is it an iPhone 10, babe? Or it's called iPhone X. Yeah, same thing. iPhone 10, iPhone X. That's the phone that I'm using, and it is so amazing. My experience with it has been so amazing. The pictures have been crispy and really great. And another feature that I like using, it's always I like taking pictures on the portrait setting. It always gives me nice and popping pictures, and I also like using Vivid, the filter that just kind of gets the colors in the groove. And this is not a question. I love your page, your cakes, they look so good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's such comments that really get you going. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And what do you do every day? Wow. Okay. What do I do every day? I do a whole lot of things. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I have breakfast. Okay, I get so busy on other days, Mostly I'm doing business related stuff, like people's orders, or I am trying out different recipes, or I'm just, doing whatever I want to do, like in the kitchen. I like mixing up a couple of things and seeing what I'm coming up with, or like redoing recipes that actually never worked in the past, trying to redo them again and seeing if I'm going to be getting, different results and stuff like that. But on a normal day, I'm normally busy with preparing people's orders and meeting up with clients for business opportunities, and meeting clients, like people when they have weddings and stuff. I normally prepare. I normally prefer actually meeting them in person, so that we have a lowdown as to what exactly they're looking for, the vibe and whatever. I'm also going about in shops. Like I go to the grocery stores, like I think about 4 out of 6 times in a week. I'm at the grocery store, either buying ingredients of stuff that I need, or just exploring, because I think that is also good for me and my business. It helps me to stay ahead of things, just checking around what people have in stores, visiting some baking supply stores to see what we have locally. And I spend about 60% of my time on the internet. I love doing research. Well, besides the social media, I love doing research. I am literally always researching about business related things, not only just recipes and stuff, but creativity things, how to improve what I'm actually doing right now, the things or equipment that I need to buy and invest in, those kind of things. I kind of enjoy them, and I'm always on YouTube. So yeah, pretty much that's what I do. Luckily for me, now I have assistants, 2 full-time assistants, that really takes a whole lot of work off my shoulders, so I'm able to actually focus on myself as well. Like I go do my nails, I do my hair, and try on some makeup and stuff, which I almost always never have time for. But yeah, I try whenever I have the time. I do try.